Live on Facebook po, Father.
Thank you. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Nasa ikasyam na po tayong yugto ng ating first theme of the Catholic family. Ito po yung panghuling episode ng second month. If you know that we started in around April 20, so ngayon we are on the, after 2 months, we are now in June 15. And therefore, we are going to the next 4 months, which will complete the 13 weeks of the first theme called Catholic Family. Maganda po ang ating episode today. We have wonderful testimonies which we shall listen to, and then they are live with us. They are participating with us in this live stream. As before, let's pray first the oración. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The angel of the Lord declared unto Mary,
And she conceived by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Behold, the handmaid of the Lord.
Be it done unto me according to thy word.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
And the Word was made flesh
And dwelt among us.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
And pray for us, O Holy Mother of God.
That we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ.
Let us pray. For forth we
beseech you, O Lord, your grace into our hearts, that we to whom the incarnation of Christ, your Son, was made known by the message of an angel,
may
by his passion and cross be brought to the glory of his resurrection, through the same Christ our Lord. Amen.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Amen. Magandang gabi po uli. Salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay sa naka-log on po. Nakakatuwa po na ang dami pong nagsusubaybay ngayon sa gabing ito. I promise you a very engaging reflection done by the three testimonies that we have. Wag lang kayo po madidistract, pero nagkaroon po ako ngayon ng facility to have a virtual background. Yan po yung painting ni Botong Francisco. Binibigay po ang Santo Niño kay Reyna Juana ng Cebu. Pagkatapos po siya nabinyagan. And we shall be celebrating this event 10 months from now. June 15 po ngayon, April 14 po nangyari yan. So, simulan na po natin ang 9th episode of our 52-week preparation for the gift, or the gratefulness for the gift of the Catholic faith. Ikasyam na yugto. Patapos na naman po ang isang buwan. We are now on the second month of our 52-week project. And as I've shared with you all these weeks, we shall have a reading from the text taken from the New Testament, a letter of St. Paul to his young but very reliable apostle by the name of Timothy. Let's listen or read for ourselves the text of Scripture.
Do not rebuke an older man, but appeal to him as a father. Treat younger men as brothers, older women as mothers, and younger women as sisters with complete purity. Honor widows who are truly widows. But if a widow has children or grandchildren, let them first learn to perform their religious duty to their own family and to make recompense to their parents, for this is pleasing to God. The real widow who is all alone has set her hope on God and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. But the one who is self-indulgent is dead while she lives. Command this, so that they may be irreproachable. And whoever does not provide for relatives, and especially family members, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
Brothers and sisters, narinig niyo po how St. Paul trains his young delegated presbyters. Young, pero ang tawag sa kanila, elder. Elder, not so much kasi of age, but meron silang responsibility. Meron silang office to take care of the life of the Christians that were newly baptized or had to live in a different land where Paul cannot always meet them time and again. So this is Timothy. And let's look first how the letter shows us the relationship between Paul and Timothy. Si Timothy po, much younger than Paul. Di niya po kadugo, di niya kamag-anak. Pero look at the treatment, para siyang kapatid. Marahil siya yung kuya, pero ito'y kanyang kapatid. Hindi niya ito basta't alipin o servant. No. Timothy is a respected and we could say a reliable partner in the mission. Young administrator that he is, St. Paul places in his hands a community to make them grow in the faith. So because of this training through a letter, sabi niya, ikaw din sana, you have to treat your community in a way that is kind and loving. Pero ang kanyang sulat po, itinuon niya sa mga nakakatanda kay Timothy. Sabi niya, how do you somehow administer your community, especially those na nakakatanda sa'yo? By persuasion. Adult na sila eh. Hindi dapat silang pagsabihan. Rather, persuade them. Hikayatin sa Tagalog. Mahalaga po yan. We know that we have extended families in our homes. Wag po natin kahit minsan ulyanin na ang ating mga magulang, parang tatuhin natin parang bata. Tulungan natin ang ating nakakatanda to gain also their self-respect, self-esteem. Yan po ang sinabi ni St. Paul kay Timothy. Treat them through persuasion of how to live the Christian life, never by imposition. So saying, brothers and sisters, na ituon ngayon ni Paul about widows. Siyempre, ito'y napag-iwanan. Walang anak siguro na lalaki. O kaya, kung meron mang anak, nakita niyo naman sa letter niya, parang hindi yata tinatrato ng tama. So una, sabi ni St. Paul, yung mga widows ha, Timothy, pangalagaan mo maigi kasi kawawa naman sila. At pangalagaan mo like your own sisters or your own mothers. Pero may words din si St. Paul sa mga kamag-anak.
na kapag sila ay hindi maganda ang trato sa kanilang kamag-anak na mismo kadugo, pinagsabihan niya. At pinagsabihan din niya yung mga balo. Kung sila naman ay tatamad-tamad, wala naman silang kusa sa buhay nila. There are words like this in the text. Pero more importantly is the administrator, the elder, though young, Timothy, should learn how to treat these people. They are like what we would call margins in the society. Nasabi ko last week, no? Baka naman bumalik na sa atin o gayahin na natin yung nangyayari sa mga developed countries. Isinasantabi ang mga matatanda. You can see pictures now in this segment of how old people look staring on a glass window. What? Staring for what? For a visit that never comes, day after day. What kind of feelings na isang tabi ka? Ang mas masakit po, nasa bahay na mismo, hindi pinapakialaman, hindi kinakausap. May caregiver, may caregiver, pinapakain, pero parang pabigat. Brothers and sisters, kayo kaya, ako kaya, na tumatanda rin, anong feeling kaya na you are set aside? Because, wala, nakakalimot ka, natatapon ang pagkain sa bibig mo, madumihin ka ng konti, minsan mapanghiyata. Kung walang nang-aalaga, kawawa po ang matatanda. Part po yan ng pagpapamilya, brothers and sisters. Becoming a family is very important, including the extended, the lolos and the lolas of our children. Because of this, we have the daughters of St. Paul, daughters of charity that take care of them. They call them asilos, or Mother Teresa sisters, missionaries of charity. They have, we could say, facilities for this elderly. Pero sana po, kamukha ngayon, bilang lang ang naandon. Talaga naman siguro, napag-iwanan ng karamihan ng kamag-anak, o mga kamag-anak nasa abroad, o kaya mga kamag-anak, hindi na talaga kaya na kasi sobrang Alzheimer's na situation. To this day, the letter of St. Paul to Timothy has significance. Huwag sana natin mawala iyan. Kasi that is part of having a true Catholic family. If you want to say a true Catholic family, then you can just say that this is one way of showing the world we are actually grateful for our faith and showing our children how to treat the next generation.
I am Noemi. I would like to share with you my beautiful, enriching experience of taking care of my ailing parents long ago. My father died in 1990 at age 62. My mother 10 years ago at 79. I had a happy childhood. Dad was a perfect father and provider, and Mom an ideal and nurturing mother. Their marriage was the envy of many. They worked hard to provide us, 6 siblings, with a decent, comfortable, though simple life. I had been in the US 9 years when Dad was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal thyroid cancer. I immediately left, went straight from airport to hospital, and stayed there for 3 months. At his deathbed, I promised Dad I would take care of Mom so he did not have to worry and could go in peace. I remained for 9 months to accompany Mom in her grief. Then I took her and a brother to the US. They soon returned home because Mom got homesick. 2 years later, Mom had a mild stroke. Again, I left for the Philippines, for good this time. Again, I dropped everything without hesitation: career, friends, financial security, and independence. I was being true to the promise I had made Dad, and I have never regretted those decisions to rejoin my parents. In time, Mom's condition deteriorated. Diabetes and hypertension, kidney and heart complications, dialysis 3 times a week, and eventually infection and sepsis. There were many visits to doctors, hospital confinements 2 to 4 times a year for 7 years. Like Virgie, I would prepare food and feed Mom myself so I could urge her to eat more, which hired caregivers had difficulty doing. I was also a reliever caregiver to ensure 24/7 care. I even learned peritoneal dialysis so we could do it at home, spare us from going to a hospital or clinic. Mom was moved to ICU, hooked up to life support systems for a month. Watching over a parent fighting for life again, it was double the previous pain, doubly devastating. Yet somehow I was more prepared this time, more accepting that illness and death are part of family life. For the one who is actually by the parent's sickbed, or at least living in the same household, there is untold sacrifice. Physical and emotional capacities pushed to the limit. Many times, near breaking point. I shed many a tear, like when they would get worse despite all medicines and treatments. Sometimes I would look out the hospital window and wish I were in a different world where my parents were well. When I saw whole families happily going around, I felt envious. Buti pa sila. But there were joys too. Spending much time with my patient, we relished happy memories, also of my childhood, and talked about my future plans. And thank God my parents were very good patients, masunurin at maalalahanin. Already suffering, yet still concerned about the rigors of my caring for them. I'm so thankful they had sent me to a Catholic school. It helped me have a deep foundation in the faith. So in hardship, I turned to God more, trusted more. My friendship with God grew deeper and more real. I became kinder, more understanding and caring. I learned to offer my pains and sacrifices for the redemption of souls, especially within my family. My father died September 8, the birthday of Mama Mary. Mom passed away on May 1, the feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and also the first Saturday of the month. I believe these dates are God's way of assuring me that they are with Him, and my sacrifices indeed have redemptive value.
Ma, miss kita. February 2, 2020. A day etched deeply in my heart. The day Mama breathed her last to enter into new life. 2 days after hospital discharge. The day I saw her at her prettiest. Maybe how she looked in her prime. It was the feast of Our Lady of Candelaria, patroness of our parish. Mom was born 102 years ago on August 22, Feast of the Queenship of Mary. She was under the special care of the Mother of God all her life. I oversaw the work of Mama's daytime caregiver and took over on her off days. The last caregiver was not staying in with us, so I took the night shift, changed diapers, tried to relieve her when she had a bad cough. I felt more pressured as Mama continued to weaken. On some days, I'd sleep only 2 to 3 hours. I took my meals quite irregularly. I was truly tested on 3 occasions when the caregiver went on leave for weeks each time. I did everything myself, except that my son or the driver carried Mama from bed to wheelchair or commode, then back to bed. Not for a moment did I complain. I only asked the Lord, if this is my mission, then help me fulfill it. Or, if He would take me, since I was exhausted and badly sleep deprived, to please take Mama and me at the same time, as no one else would be able to give her adequate care. I called to our Blessed Mother whenever I ran out of patience, especially when feeding time stretched to almost 2 hours each meal. But the Lord gave me all the help I needed, even to fulfill my commitment as Parish BEC Commission Head. I missed several occasions, but I made it to the critical meetings and events. If I would have a chance to relive our days together, I would bring Mama more often to the mall where she loved to go. I should have thought less of how difficult it would be. Sorry, Ma. But then again, I believe the Lord knows best. Now, I live the good memories, like celebrating her 100th birthday at Vikings. Ma, looking at our pictures of that day, as I lie on your bed, I hope that you felt my love then, and every time I cleaned you, gave you your bath, comforted and attended to you, especially when you had difficulty breathing. I miss you, Ma. You made me stronger in my faith in God, in my trust in Mama Mary, and in myself.
I am Tess. Mom has just turned 90. Her osteoarthritis gives her constant pain and makes movement difficult. Unlike Virgie and Noemi, my challenges have little to do with physical caregiving because she has a caregiver and my sister is in charge. The family was not aware that dementia had crept in on Mom. We thought it was just forgetfulness, normal aging. Still, I didn't realize she was also forgetting that she could no longer walk by herself and should press her buzzer for help, or at least to pick up her cane. I thought she was just being proud or stubborn, refusing to accept her new limitations. So when she would stand up and start walking, I'd get irritated or angry, anxious she would fall. Until recently, my challenge was dealing with her imaginings, confused memory, illusory or downright illogical thoughts, and dreams intermingled with reality. It's partly dementia and partly a side effect of medication for essential tremors common among the elderly. Before, I would try to correct her, to ground her back to reality. Now, it seems better for her if I just ride along. But it's very hard when she insists on something we're unable to comply, like to produce a supposedly missing personal belonging, gone since years and years ago, or when we ignore her repeated calls. She only dreamt calling us. Or turn off that other light over there, or send that car away. Or why are we not feeding these babies? None of the above. We're in her room, and babies don't have quarantine passes to come over. Kind of cute sometimes, but at other times, how hard it is to negotiate between her mind and objective reality. I began blessing her at bedtime, aloud, so she would join me in asking God to give her restful sleep and to guard her so that nothing bad, but only what comes from God, would enter her mind and heart. This prayer gave her peace. How did I manage? Only by God's mercies, for sure. At first, I prayed for the obvious solution, to be a better daughter, more patient and compassionate. I asked Jesus, let me be your heart today to Mom. I celebrated little triumphs. I gave myself time and prayed to try again whenever I failed. But since I failed often, I was led to pray differently. I stopped worrying about solutions. That's God's department, not mine. Instead, I drew from the church's wonderful ministry of spiritual direction, where prayer is a real relationship between me and the God who is truly interested in me. I asked for nothing. I sat before Him just being me, helpless, weak, and flawed. I sensed God loving me anyway. No anger, no reproach, only acceptance and assurance that He is in charge. In prayer, I would stay on and on with that feeling of being loved. I came to understand that if I don't allow myself to receive the love that God gives me, I will have nothing to give Mom. I'm totally dependent on God, even in doing the good I want to do. I felt lighter. This told me that God was at work on the solutions. True enough, because ideas came to me without thinking, and I found myself doing things I have never done before. Simple things, but they worked, like new topics for small talk, stretching exercises, so easy yet soothing for Mom. In this COVID-19 era, FaceTime with our fourth-generation immediate family, we're 40 plus, including her 8 great-grandchildren. Finally, I was forced into social media. Also masses, either live stream or replay, depending on her condition. All this means setting my work aside, to make her feel she's not left alone, to pass the long hours in between meals and the other basic necessities. I cannot take credit for this. My spiritual director once told me that to find myself doing things I could not do before, something I had not done by myself, is a concrete experience of being graced. If I could change anything, I'd prepare by getting informed about aging. But that's past, and I fully embrace the spiritual journey that has so far led to this graced time. For sure, I'm still a work in progress. But who knew that in God's plan, Mom, at her weakest and most vulnerable, would be in top form living up to her name and make me feel she's truly that to me. Consolacion. In closing, caring for elderly parents is a very sacred space where we are invited to put our faith into action, hour by hour, and get to be abundantly graced in the process. It is true they are at the receiving end in their old age, but it's not one way. We three, Virgie, Noemi, and myself, agree that we have received more than we've given. Taking care of parents is an honor and a privilege, a grace and a blessing. For this, we are deeply grateful. In their suffering and in their awareness that their time is limited, we can make our parents feel loved, not just know it in their heads. We can express love in the many concrete ways, not just pay lip service to it. To stay with them as if doing nothing, yet doing everything. This is the big consolation we can give them, that they are not alone in battling old age. Our presence, our kindness, our love are what they need most now, and the best last gifts that we can give them. God is the real caregiver. Our work for our parents is only a share in His. He equips us accordingly, with winning ideas, with strength, and most of all with love that is patient and kind, and bears all things. As in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says, winning the battle begins in our heart, and our weapon is prayer.
Mga kapatid, kapag mahaba tayong pagkikinig, ako for one, I found myself honor also of my mother, pero it was once a week.
I would like to thank you for having stayed for 2 months, 9 weeks with us. The next 4 weeks, continue with the Catholic family kasi 13 weeks po ito, one season, ika nga. And what we have discussed is already what is husband and wife relationship, and the second is parental care and attitude of children to their parents, even now to their elderly grandparents or even in-laws. So, salamat po, at kung gusto niyo pong subaybayan ang ating pinag-uusapan dito, next week po, meron tayong bagong buwan. Ang ating tema po ay tungkol sa relationship ng isang buong pamilya sa kanyang simbahan, sa kanyang pananampalataya, sa kanyang parokya, at ganoon din sa kanyang lipunan, sa kanyang neighborhood. Nakakatuwa po naman, natapos natin ang first part tungkol sa husband and wife, celebrating Mother's Day. Ngayon po, kasaselebrate din po natin ng Father's Day. And in a few weeks, baka 1 or 2 weeks from now, we will have Grandparents' Day. So sakto po, naandyan po sa loob ng ating reflection ang ating ino-honor ng mga magulang at nakakatanda. Thank you. God bless you all.
So nasabi ko mga kapatid na ako mismo, I had a mother that went up to 100 years old. The best that I could offer her, because I'm in a work of a priest. I live in a convent where we are in charge of a school of theology. But 8 years ko po
I made sure if I am in town, and most of the time actually, I was with her on Saturday evening, and then I would celebrate the Mass of Sunday for her and with the family. That was the best gift I could offer. I was helpless in terms of what I could do in time with my mother day after day, unlike my brother who lives with her or she lives with him. But yes, it was worth it to go home every Saturday. And then I realized when she was getting weak, instead of going later for my class in San Carlos, I would take breakfast at home and leave 3 or 4 minutes to go to San Carlos, which is very nearby our house. And was worth it, I would say. Kagaya ng sinabi, nila Noemi, nila Virgie, at ni Tess. So hindi po sila. By the way, andyan po si Virgie. You could see, we could see her in the Zoom. I-unmute po namin siya. Andito rin po present si Noemi at saka si Tess. So kung meron po kayong tanong through Facebook, andyan po yung ating host na si Bea Magat, and she could assist me in whatever you type in the Facebook of questions, and we will relay, or you could, if you're in Zoom, we could relay to this our life testimony persons. No? Bigyan ko kayo ng konting panahon para baka gusto nyo po na merong itanong sa kanila. No? At this point, palaging nagsasabi lang that you are watching, but we would like to get engaged at least a bit. It's just 6:35. If you think you can still continue, no? I see her, a good friend of mine, si Erdi Lisada, whose mother also just passed on. There is a Grace Abelia Sata, whose dad is very much alive, and I'm sure she can relate. And if you have your own inputs, Ernie, Grace, we are part of this sharing kasi no one has, we could say, the monopoly here of answers. So can we ask Virgie if you would like to share some more? And there is Tess now, and Noemi. They are all here in front of us. So do you want to share something more, or we're going to listen to questions and allow them to maybe give us their reflection about what you have narrated and testified to us? Alam niyo kayong tatlo, just to break the ice for this, nakakatuwa, magkakilala kayo sa isang parokya sa PCJ, Presentation of the Child Jesus sa BF. Nakita ko po sa inyong narration, hindi naman kayo nagkopyahan, ang laki po ng role ng pananampalataya nyo. Somehow, caregiving required from you to dig deeper into the recesses of faith and therefore of love. Faith in God and believing that He is with you in what you are doing. Can you comment on that, Noemi, Virgie, or Tess?
Yes, Father. Can you hear me?
Yes, Tess, sure.
Yes, Father, definitely. Kasi nga, as I said in the testimony, which, by the way, someone read for me, thank you for that. Hindi talaga kaya, ikaw lang, kasi it's so hard. Si Noemi kasi, it's not only I, no? Noemi and I have shared about this, no? Hindi na nabanggit ni Noemi sa testimony niya how hard it was. Kasi matagal na yon. While me, I'm in the midst of it, no? So, yung overall feeling mo talaga doon, overall sentiment is, of course, you love your mom, and of course, you know that God wants you to love your mom. Okay, so ginagawa mo, pero ang hirap talaga. It takes something far beyond yourself, far bigger than yourself, to be able to parang to bring out the charity na parang dapat hindi yun kasi kailangan mo siyang mahalin. Kasi dapat hindi ba, dapat mas natural yon. But you just have to acknowledge na hindi ka perfect. All right? And just parang sige, do it. Trust that God is with you. Trust that God is honoring your efforts. Ganon. And as often as you fall, you just rise up again and you try to parang kung sumama ang loob sa'yo, no, di mag-sorry ka, maski na hindi ka diretsong mag-sorry, no, show it by just paying attention to her. Tapos ganun din siya, nagsusorry din siya, no? But if you would take things parang, kunyari, meron siyang nagawa that really hurts you, and believe me, there are many, no, Noemi can attest to that. There are many that will come out of her lips or some actions or attitudes that would really hurt you. If you would not draw from your God, hindi mo talaga makakaya. So faith, no? Thank God for our parish also na talagang tinutulak kami sa formation, no? So, yun nga sabi ko, equipped kami, I think.
Thank you, Tess. Si Virgie kakapass on lang ng nanay niyo this year, no? Di ba, Virgie?
Yes, Father.
And I could really feel the emotion deep down in me, how you miss your mother.
Siyempre po, Father, lalo na nung nagdaan ng Mother's Day. Pero I'm so thankful, Father, kasi timing, sabi ko talagang inihanda ni Lord ako dahil sa bagong nagkaroon itong pandemic na to, I was able to spend a lot of time with her, even our relatives, tsaka yung mga friends, when she passed on, and we had, kahit papano, Father, we had parang family reunion kapag merong wake eh. So, we had that opportunity. And right after, yung 40th niya, Father, we did not have any gathering anymore kasi that was already the start of the ECQ.
Lockdown.
Naka-lockdown na lahat. But I was saying that talagang pinrepair ni Lord na maayos, na parang inihanda niya na ayusin ko naman ng maayos din, pati hanggang sa makaalis na si Mama at maka-join siya kay Christ, kay Lord. Ayos po, hanggang ngayon, syempre, namimiss ko kasi, Father, magkatabi kami sa kama eh. Hanggang sa mahina na kasi siya. Hindi ako halos, kailangan palagi siyang babantayan. Yung time na we had to rush her to the hospital, yung talagang she refused to eat. Na pag pinagtsatsagaan namin siyang kumain kasi sabilin nga ng doktor, hanggang mapagtsatsagaan, pagtsatsagaan siya. But then, she refused to eat already, tapos marami na palang naging complications. So we had to rush her to the hospital.
Yeah.
Pero she stayed on, talagang she hanged on dahil sa talagang parang gusto pa rin niya na makasama kami kahit palagi na lang siyang natutulog, Father. Sa last breath niya.
Thank you, Noemi. May pagkamatagal na pala yung Virgie. May pagkamatagal na pala yung kay Noemi, no?
Yes po,
ang passing
Father.
on. Was it difficult to remember when you are giving your testimony? Hindi naman. Parang feeling ko sariwa pa eh.
Palagi naman po nasa puso. But the emotions, wala na masyado yung strong emotions or feelings. But the missing part is still there. Talagang hindi siya mawawala. And I agree, Father, yung faith talaga, napakalaking bagay. Especially sa akin kasi I treasure the fourth commandment, to honor your father and your mother. So, ang laking, sa akin, impact And so even when I was still young, I would always try to really study hard kasi parang this is my way of saying, of honoring my parents. And then also, it's my way of saying thank you very much for taking good care of me. So when the time comes that they were already, I really felt that it is now God's desire for me to take care of them. So no regrets whatsoever that I had that grace opportunity to take care of them. So
Kasi
it is
siyempre,
such
when you went to the States, Noemi, no? You left your mother, and definitely, although she had her help, but you decided to drop everything, sabi mo?
yes,
How was that? Was that impulse? Was that more of, sabihin natin that's just nature, or you had also to have to think about it, to drop everything and come home?
kasi po, Father, parang ang feeling ko noon was, since I was working in the US, parang I would always take the opportunity to come home to spend time with my parents. So, minsan a month vacation or more. Kasi I always had this feeling, baka hindi sila tumagal or ako ang hindi tumagal. So, I always want to have that opportunity to be with them. So, when my mom got sick, it was not really difficult for me. It was not an impulse. It was something that I felt the Lord is now calling me to do. I felt that God has given me this option to go back and to take care of my parents.
Wow, so beautiful. Ang ganda. So meron po ba kayong mga tanong sa kanila?
Father Me po, I have a question.
Yes, sige.
Okay. To our beautiful ladies, ma'am, did any of you get the privilege of having grown up in a household with your grandparents? And by any chance, were your parents the same towards their own parents? Was that a source of inspiration po, or an example for each of you to take on the same character and role later on when your parents themselves were in their old age?
For me, yes. Both my grandparents actually stayed with us, and my parents really took care of them. So really, they were my model because I saw them how they took care of their parents. So somehow that really also inspired me. Kung ginagawa nila yun sa parents nila, then I felt that I should also be doing that to my parents.
So meron kang naging example, Noemi. Ganda. Meron ditong sharing si Ernie Lizada. Kasi his mother just passed on also this year, kamukha ng kay Virgie. Taking care of my mom then became source of my strength now in this time of grief. The fact na, yes, Virgie.
Oh, Father, kasi, well, during that time, siyempre po talagang magkasama lang kami sa bahay. Wala akong mapagbalingan na matanungan. Basta ang feeling ko po palagi, kasama ko si Mama Mary at saka si Lord, palagi kong kinakausap. Kasi may time na pag nahihirapan ako, wala akong ibang mabalingan kundi si Lord at si Mama Mary. Kaya sabi ko, talagang ang naging feeling ko, mas naging strong ang faith ko. At the same time, I have placed my complete trust lalo na kay Mama Mary because she's a mother too. Hindi ko na po gisnan ng matagal ang mga grandparents ko. So talagang ang mother ko lang at saka ang parents ko. Mas naunang my father passed on earlier, much earlier than my mom. So talaga ang kasama ko ay ang mother ko. And I also felt that in the end, God gave me the strength to really carry on taking care of my mom because I said, if this is the mission that He gave me, I gave up most of the work as a commission head. So whenever there is a need, remote control, remotely, nagko-communicate sila sa akin, I still stay at home taking care of my mom. Priority siya talaga, Father.
Yeah. And as you said, no, parang sinabi ni Ernie, you are in grief now, but you said, I've done my best. I've given my most. I think that's very consoling. Sabi uli ni Ernie, no, by yourself, you really cannot carry on. But with God's help, you can go through it. Ito, si Phil, my parents are both gone. Babasa niya naman, I was able to assist my father from Holy Thursday until Easter Sunday. He said sa kanyang mother, she was hospitalized for 10 days. I was able to go home twice. But the third trip, while on the bus, she was gone. But for both, we have to surrender to the Lord for what was best for them. I have here also Pebbles. Ayan, muna si Rose Imperial Fernandez. The sharing daw ng inyong testimony brought back memories to her and surely her siblings because they took care of their mom with Alzheimer's. This will be the 7th year this coming June 17 on Wednesday, 7th anniversary of her death. Even though we have given and showed her our love and affection, this still brought us tears. Yeah. Nakikita ko yan. I am also affected by what you have shared because kasi lumaki po tayo sa sinapupunan ng ating nanay. No one exempted. There is a greater bond between son or daughter to a mother because it was very much internal from the onset of our life in the womb. Sabi ni Pebbles, thanking you for sharing. She's also from BF, by the way. She has an advocacy for the kababaihan, especially the poorest. It gives hope to old people that they will be taken care of. Yung inyong witness daw will now show young people how to take care of their parents when they grow old. We ourselves took care of two elderly ones, 79 and 93. We just lost the 93-year-old 3 months ago. As an old person, they demanded our time more than anything else. And that is what we tell our children, that when we grow old, they do not have to give us any material thing, only their time. Wow. Thank you, Pebbles. Very powerful sa sharing. Yes.
Actually, Father, I'd like to pick up on that. It was the last two comments especially were very timely. I'd like to ask, I think it was Ma'am Tess who said that she had siblings to help her out in taking care of her mother. In their case po ba, are you all blessed with siblings or meron po bang only child? Do you think it's different if you're an only child as compared to if you had siblings to maybe try to ask help from when it comes to taking care of your parents po?
In my case, I have 5 siblings, and my sister lives in the US. And she actually, because she's far away, she's the one who takes care of the financial aspect. So at least for that, I don't have to worry about the financial needs of my mom. And then I have 4 brothers. So nandun sila. Now they would come and visit my mom. But somehow, yung mga lalaki medyo mahina loob. Parang it's very difficult for them to look at my mom, when she was already at the hospital. So they would come, visit, hi, hello mom, how are you? And then, hindi sila masyado, hindi nila kaya to see my mom like that. But they're all there and really they show their affection to my mother and my father.
Thank you for that, Noemi.
Like
Kaya maganda po ang maraming magkakapatid in that sense. Na. Yeah. Ikaw, gusto mo sabihin, Tess?
Yes, Father. Okay, so iba kasi, yes, they want to help, and they visit whenever they can. Pero iba kasi talaga yung ikaw yung nandun, no? So, kasi ikaw talaga yung magdadala ng burden, yung difficulty of caring for somebody, like in the case of my mom, no? She doesn't have full possession of her faculties anymore, no? So, iba kasi yung dumadalaw masaya yung atmosphere kasi namimiss sila, bihira silang nandun, no? So, nakakatulong sila, why not? And they want to help, why not? But they have their own families, no? Kasi kami ni Noemi, nandun kami talaga present to our parents, no? Pero at the same time, okay, so nakakatulong sila, but let's say in a limited way, okay? Pero ano naman yung balik nun sa amin na nandun talaga, na nakabantay, no? Like right now, pandemic, no? I realize how blessed we are who are staying at home with mom, no? There are 3 of our siblings here, okay? Kasi yung mga iba, gusto siya makita, gusto siya mayakap, hindi pwede. Pag pumunta dito, social distancing pa, no? So, ano talaga siya eh, parang I guess that's the Lord's way. May balance, merong wala, may pambalanse na meron, ano. So, yon, limited help sila, okay? And they feel happy when they're here, okay? Pero kami na nandito, may sacrifices, sabi nga ni Nomi, untold sacrifices, no? Agree to that, no? Pero also, the opportunities for blessings and graces are there also. So much more for those who are by the bedside.
Right. Kabe-birthday lang ng mami mo, Tess, no? Si
Yes, Father, thank you for that. You know what?
Ano ko yun? Lahat yun? Zumba o maraming nag-gather sa bahay?
Wala po. Walang maski isa dito na hindi
Walang
talaga,
physical gathering?
walang physical Zoom, but you know, pati yung si Angel's Estate, tapos yung may mga cousins siya from US, Japan, meron yatang Hong Kong, meron akong cousin din, first cousin sa Hong Kong. So yun, it was a big gathering talaga. She was
By virtual.
Yes.
How did she feel, yung nanay mo?
At first parang hindi niya mag-grasp, no? Tapos sabi niya, bakit daw hindi kami nagpakain? Ba't daw hindi kami nagdasal? Sabi ko, nagdasal tayo, nandun na si Father Francis. Sabi ko, that was the best family prayer. And then, of course, napagod daw siya. Ang dami-dami daw tao. You know? Sabi parang, on the one hand, parang, ay, hindi tayo nagpakain. Gano'n, no? Tapos, parang, wala namang dumating. Tapos, ngayon sabi, ang daming tao. So, ayun, tawanan na lang tayo.
Ang mahirap talaga to enter into the mind frame of the elderly kasi iba yung kanilang insecurity sa atin na we're still able. Diba? Ibang insecurity ng mga elderly than those who are still physically able. Yeah.
Yes po. Iba talaga yung isip nila. Reality to them is different from our objective reality. And okay lang, most of the time pinapabayaan na lang namin. Why impose on her parang on her limited mind, no? Mind already limited by age. Pero kung minsan hindi talaga po pwede. Yung sinabi ko na, kung minsan cute, okay? Pero kung minsan ang hirap. Kasi pag may hinahanap siya na kailangan mong i-produce, 20 years ago pa nasira yun. Yung ganun ba? So, entering her world, yes.
Wow, you have been serving many people kasi dito mismo kong cousin, second cousin ko kasi magpinsan ng aming parehong nanay. It brought out tears in her eyes because she misses his father so much. Her mother passed on earlier. It was recent that her dad passed on during already the COVID lockdown. And I took care of him with the help of caregivers in the last 3 months. He stayed with me in our house. I was the only one with him when he passed on. But I miss him terribly. Yeah. So somebody is thanking you. Kudos to these ladies who lovingly took care of their parents. I'm afraid I fall short of the standards. My mom lives with me and is now 89, and thanks be to God, she's still able to do daily activities. But the COVID gave me more time to spend with her, play Scrabble and Rummy Cub every day after my work from home is done. And she started to tell me stories about her childhood in Mindoro and through the war. What grace to have this time with her. Wow. Thank you.
Father, may I respond to that? Kasi really, ako everyday I feel I fall short. Kasi parang this is not you'd like to be able to love more, to show your love more in everything, every actuation, okay, even in what goes on in your mind that you do not express, no? So I'd like to tell that brother of ours, I didn't catch his name, no? Um, no, I hope you're not feeling guilty. Ganon, kasi accept lang natin, limited talaga rin yung capacity natin. That's where grace comes in, no? Na talagang we have to rely on our God, no? To help us to
Yeah.
this, no? So, yes, isipin natin na parang, I don't want to have to regret later na why did I love her more and all of that, no? I think God sees the desire in our hearts, and God accepts our limitations. No, so if you feel that you're falling short, know that I feel that way every single day.
Thank you, Tess. Yes. Yeah. One of the reactions here, or sabi, ito isang madre po ito ng Daughters of St. Paul. Sabi niya, thank you for your sharing kayo. It is so inspiring because she still has a mom who has also some health issues, but though she's a nun, she could only give that little time. But she's with relatives. I mean, with her siblings. Sabi ni Ernie, my mom had a happy death because of the prayer I gave to them. Yung Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, I give you my heart and my soul. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, assist me in my last agony. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, may breathe forth my soul in peace with you. We pray this every night with her. I also pray it po, mga kapatid, every night, ever since. When I learned it from my Don Bosco youthful days when I was 11, I kept on every night, and this is the last prayer I say before the Lord before I sleep. Because hindi naman tayo sigurado kung bukas gigising tayo anytime, di ba? Yes. Alam niyo mga kapatid, just to refocus ourselves, no? The segment of this last month, 4 episodes, 6, 7, 8, 9, is about how parents should take care of their children. Pero sabi nga ni Noemi, nakita niya paano ang parents niya took care of her grandparents. And so natuto siya kung paano isukli sa kanila. Parang by osmosis ba ang tawag doon? Na-absorb mo eh. So yung goodness mo talaga, yung honor your father and your mother, was something that Noemi saw. Ito naman si Virgie, kasi kapapas on lang ng kanyang nanay, imagine she was sleeping with her, no? For the last how many months ba yan? Even years, no? That you're beside her, just to make sure that things will be okay at night, di ba? And so really, iba yun eh. Iba yun yung katabi mo. Tapos, siguro nga, as Tess is saying, talagang actually hindi mo kaya ang gantong parang it's beyond your strength. Pero God supplies it. Or better, you're actually just partner with God. God does more than what you're doing. In fact, maybe, sabi nga nila, God does 99% and our 1% is just 1%, but God wants it to be there. God needs the 1% to make our elderly feel they're not alone. So, ginagawa po natin to kasi may kaba tayo po sa ating henerasyon that is becoming very secular. Lalo na kung ang isip po ng mga kabataan, even let's say those in their 30s, pera-pera po eh. Pera-pera lang eh. Eh hindi po yan ang Catholic faith na tinanggap natin 500 years ago that we are celebrating. There's such a thing like our faith teaches us to even love beyond measure, something unconditional. And I'm hope that with this relation, this narration, this testimony,
it has really done well for you and I, because whether it's our parents or me in my community of priests, I'm questioning myself now, how do I actually treat them, yung elderly? So mga kapatid, sana nga po, sa pagsubaybay natin sa kantong 52-week project na hindi po akin, this is just meant, kung gusto nyo po ito isalaysay sa iba, gamitin nyo po yung nasa YouTube, tapos mag-discussion kayo kung meron kayong community. Kayo, Virgin, Noemi, and Tess, if you want to bring this to the parish level, sa BEC, nandiyan naman po sa YouTube, ipakita nyo po, and then i-discuss nyo. Kasi kung dito lang po tayo, sayang. Pero kung sa pamagitan nito, lahat po ng pumasok dito ngayon, gagamitin nila for their children or for whoever, it would be a nice thing if you could bring it to discussion. So MJ is thanking you for a very inspiring sharing of our guests. A beautiful message, beautiful reflection for parents and children. Sabi nga ni Judith na taga Florida, enlightening and inspiring. So God bless everyone. Salamat Noemi, Virgie, and Tess. No? Salamat na salamat for participating in this program. So next week po, we begin a new month. And this time, ano ba relasyon ng isang pamilya sa kanyang simbahan? No, kamukha nito. They are BEC coordinators, no? And all of that, di ba? They're involved in the church as well. It's not confined. The family does not confine us only. From our level of concern in our circle of concern, it doesn't confine us because we could also have a circle of influence. And this testimony becomes a circle of influence. God bless you po. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God keep you always safe and secure. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Magandang gabi po. Good night for all of you. Have a wonderful week. Salamat.